and contract on a regular basis.
Yeah, if they took you out to the Sportsman's Lodge, you knew you were getting laid off.
Well, upstairs they had a different way of doing it. Margaret never liked to let anybody go. She was very sweet. She never liked to fire anybody. What she would do is make them a writer. That was her way of getting rid of people, because she would turn to them and she'd say, "Well, we don't need you anymore in this office, but we're going to make you a writer." And of course, the person knew nothing about writing, and they would quit after about a week or two, and then it was off Margaret's hands. She didn't have to worry about it anymore. So my girlfriend Cynthia came home one day and she said, "Well, I've been laid off," and I was working at Universal. And I said, "Oh, it's terrible. What happened?" She said, "Well, they didn't lay me off, but they made me a writer." And I said, "Well, I can write that stuff, so why don't we just team up and give it a whirl?" And the miracle back then, it was if you could actually sell a script to a network. It was one thing to say you were a writer, but it was another thing to be able to sell a script and sell it to a network. So we sold that first year something like 4 scripts to ABC for Scooby-Doo, which is how I started writing. So it's just funny, these weird ways.
So you're to blame.
I am.
Did you have to, in those days, as I recall, to at least pitch your storyline, it was like Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Where there was kind of a skeleton of a storyline, and you put in the specifics about location, who the monster was, who the red herring was, and that's why in Pup Named Scooby-Doo there was actually a character named Red Herring. But it was such a formula that was like the first idea of saying, okay, how well do people understand this? Can they even fill the slots correctly, right?
I don't think there was nothing specific like that, but I think we all knew what was expected. I think the frustrating thing being a writer at Hanna-Barbera, it's funny because this panel was called Fun at Hanna-Barbera. And I really had to think when I accepted the task of doing this, I had to think, did I have fun at Hanna-Barbera? What was frustrating was that I grew up, I appreciated animation and classic animation, and here's a gentleman who worked on classic animation, so I'm delighted.
Am I that old?
Delighted to be sitting next to him. But I grew up knowing what a good cartoon was, and I'd been a bit of a film historian, and I'd written some articles. I knew what good animation was. The problem at Hanna-Barbera was that you were selling your shows to network people, and they didn't have a clue what a good cartoon was. Yeah. They had their idea of what good programming was for children, and they were most